Welcome back to New York, everybody, with Harry Carson of the Giants and Irv Krause. I'm Brent Musburger. Irv, what about the loss of Hebert and the entrance of Wilson? What can Wilson do for the Saints?
Well, he has a stronger arm than Hebert does. The reason why Hebert is a starter is that he has a better control of the overall offense. They won't lose much in their passing game, but the field leadership, of course, they would lose.
Yeah, Harry, you played against the Saints, and for all their fans down there in New Orleans, were the Giants impressed when you came away from that game?
I was impressed with them. I think right now they're playing with a lot of confidence. Their running backs are young. They're running very hard. Bobby Hebert has done a very good job running that offense, and they've got these big offensive linemen up front, and they've been opening some holes for them.
All right. Well, you know, Harry, it might be the Minnesota Vikings that go down there and play the wild card game if they can win the next two. And, of course, if San Francisco doesn't lose, it's 10-7 right now, the Vikings. Irv, how about some highlights?
Oh, Wade Wilson playing today started for the injured Tommy Kramer, goes up top and hits DJ Dozier for a 20-yard pass because the safety blew his coverage. But the Lions come right back. Chuck Manley heading Pete Manley in the end zone. They knotted up here, and you see right now the Vikings lead 10-7.
Yeah, Chuck Long showing a little improvement at quarterback for the Lions, too. Now, and of course, your score, and if you are a Saint fan, keep in mind that the Bengals always seem to find a way to blow games in the second half, so that'll keep your confidence up for the time being. Pittsburgh and Houston, really, for the Oilers, their season comes down to this game. They've got to have it. It's 10-6. They've held the Steelers to 2 field goals, and they've hit with a 52-yard bomb. That one from Moon to Drew Hill. New England and Buffalo, and a great job by the Patriot defense so far, and Steve Grogan, that experience. The Patriots have missed an extra point. 13-0. They're well into the second half. Nasty weather up in Buffalo. Philadelphia and the Jets, a good game over in the Meadowlands. Harry and the Giants will be taking on the Jets. How about the highlights, sir?
Well, the Jets got started slowly today, but in the second quarter here, Roger Vick goes over from the 5-yard line for a touchdown. Then the Eagles get their ammunition going. Rocket Randall Cunningham going up top to Mike Quick for a 46-yard touchdown pass. He likes to be called Rocket.
The Rocket Man. Harry, how about the Rocket Man Cunningham? What about him as a quarterback?
I think if he can stay healthy, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He can throw. He can run the ball. I think that's the thing that really separates him from all of the other quarterbacks in the league. Him and John Elway, they can really run with the ball.
You know, Harry, it's so tough to bring down somebody like Cunningham, and I notice in watching all these games, in the grasp, there's a different signal on a different officials. They're not consistent. How do you as a linebacker feel about the in the grasp rule?
Well, I think it should be lightened up a little bit because defensive players would like to have an opportunity to, when they work to get to the quarterback, they want to body slam him and create some damage there, you know. So we'd like to see that lightened just a little bit.
I'm really surprised by that answer.
All those linebackers are the same way. Defensive backs are that way too, by the way.
All right.
Defensive linemen also.
Harry and Irv, the Seattle-Chicago score, incidentally, at the half. They are tied at 7. Walter Payton had rushed for 12 times for 46 yards. We'll continue with the NFL Today on CBS after these messages from your local stations. Welcome back to New York. You know, the Minnesota Vikings have the edge on the lone remaining wild card playoff berth, and should they return for postseason play for the first time since '82, it will be a significant step in the franchise's return to glory. A decade ago, the Vikings made it to 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Yet it's the one that got away that Minnesotans seem to remember most, the day the gridiron gods answered the prayer of another team.
We thought we had put together the best team that we'd ever had. No one could believe that, you know, that this had happened and we'd lost.
That was the worst defeat I've ever had to accept. And it'll always be the worst defeat.
We didn't think they were going to get it in one play. The only way they could do it was with a miracle.
I can't watch it. I get mad yet. I still get mad.
The most devastating play in Viking history happened right here. It's an empty lot now, but it's a place where the old Metropolitan Stadium used to stand. Back in the days when the Vikings played outdoors in the dead of the Minnesota winter. And the one moment that left the Vikings and their fans in a state of shock provided the Dallas Cowboys with the greatest single play in their history.
They knew it was their last play, and we knew it was their last play.
I hate to admit it, but I didn't think we had any chance to win the Minnesota game.
We came back and I said, Drew, can you run an in route and then break it deep? And I'll get KRAUSE. I'll keep KRAUSE away from getting over to you.
And Staubach came back and gave us a pump fake to my right side as I looked at Staubach, and that one split second just turns you, and then he threw the ball way left into the deep corner.
I saw him throw the pass, and it was a very lofty pass. You can tell by the flight of the ball, it just went up. I relaxed when he released the ball because I just thought there was no way that there would be anyone there to receive it.
The blessing to the whole play was that Staubach underthrew me on the play, and I was able to put on the brakes and come back. Nate fell down. I couldn't believe when I had the ball, and the fans in Minnesota, of course, couldn't believe it either.
It was not a legal play. There was interference on his part because he pushed me down.
I saw the play probably better than anybody, and it was a foul.
In a situation like that, interference would have to be very clear-cut to make a call that would decide a championship game.
The stadium was stunned. I mean, I've never been in a stadium that was so quiet. And I think that particular play was the biggest single play that I've ever been a part of.
Roger takes the snap, pumps and once. The Cowboys need a miracle. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5. Touchdown! Staubach hit Pearson on a 50-yard touchdown. Would you believe it?
I'll never forget it. TERZIAN also got hit with a bottle that was thrown from the end zone by one of the fans.
He was seriously hurt. You know, I asked Jerry Burns a couple of days ago, I said, Coach, you've been that close to making the playoffs in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, if you put enough of those together, you'll be a mile away. A lot of close ones.
All right, let's ask Harry Carson, the one negative moment that as a football player with the Giants you remember most of all.
I don't think I have to think too long about that. That's the fumble. I think it was back in 1978 that the Giants had against the Philadelphia Eagles. That's one play that if you're a Giant player, a Giant coach, a Giant fan, or if you're a football fan in general, you will remember.
Yeah, painful memory for New Yorkers. Oh. The pivot and the ball's down, the Eagles go in. Irv loved it.
The Eagles call it the miracle in the Meadowlands.
Every time I think about it, I still hurt.
Okay, let's send you back to the stadium now in a game.
Oh, look at Sam White talking to the offense.
Yeah, he's giving a big pep talk to that offensive team and making sure that they understand they got to block.